Match Day on KFJB-TV is presented by Wells Fargo Advisors of Marshalltown, helping you develop strategies for pursuing your financial goals. McGregor's Furniture and Mattress, quality furniture for every room in your home. Scouting America, Adventure On. The Marshalltown School District, embrace the lead. Scooters of Marshalltown, amazing people, amazing drinks, amazingly fast. Sandvik Enterprises in Marshalltown, let them deliver for you. Your Marshalltown Hy-Vee, let's get shopping your way. And State Farm, Tyler Pashong Agency, mtownproud.com.
In the end zone, it's Niehaus. Feldman, that one will get in. That's a good point right there. A shot coming here, that's a goal. Lifted to left center field, gets off the warning track into the wall. Transition three, boom, knocks that one down. And it's a goal, what a beautiful play. Dutton, look what I found over the first. It's a 3-on-1 all the way, yes. There he goes.
Your home for the Bobcats, KFJB-TV.
The final regular season game of the year for the Marshalltown girls soccer team tonight. A superb season with a 10-3-3 record. They take on the Columbus Catholic Sailors. This is Match Day on KFJB-TV. Goal, Bobcats! Takes a shot, goal! Welcome to Leonard Cole Field. I'm Brandon Lewis. Dylan Doze alongside me tonight for our Match Day coverage at home for the final time this regular season for the Bobcat ladies as they host the Columbus Catholic Sailors. A rich tradition of well-played soccer for the Sailors, but a down year behind Julie Gersh this year at a mark of just 1-12. Bobcats come in on a 5-game winning streak. They're 10-3-3 so far this year. They've been led in goal by Sofia Valdez-Chavez as you get a look at her on KFJB-TV. Just a sophomore, but she's played really well this year for the Cats.
I think if you put an asterisk around a difference between an okay season and a great season, it's all with who your keeper is, and she's been spectacular. 74% save percentage, and she's really kept the Bobcats in any game. There's outside of the ADM 10-0 drubbing, there are 2 losses, one to Roosevelt, who we'll talk about later, looking forward, and Ames, were by a combined 2 goals.
Giselle Hernandez-Ibarra, 3 goals this year. She's a senior. She's out tonight, Dylan. She's graduating from MCC already.
That's spectacular. You know, you would love to have those kids, even if they have to miss a match, but you love to have those kids that are pushing themselves, looking beyond just the 4 years of high school. So congrats to her for getting that AA before she gets that high school diploma. The
baseball inter-squad scrimmages tonight. Xander Stepp will not be there because he's also graduating from MCC tonight.
I saw Xander today. He was on the motorcycle. He's got the full sleeve, backwards hat, helmet in the back. He is ready. I will tell you, he's a whole vibe, but he also should be great on the mound this year, even though he's spending time getting that AA degree.
That is for sure. Well, we are breezy tonight as our kickoff is approaching, as the flags are falling down. Who knows which way the balls will be flying, but the Bobcats hope that they can continue their winning ways here tonight as they host the Sailors of Columbus Catholic. Coming up, we'll talk to the head coach, Stacy Galima, on our Match Day coverage right here on KFJB-TV.
McGregor's Furniture and Mattress is your local furniture store in Marshalltown, and they are proud to support Marshalltown Bobcat Athletics. If you need a new recliner to relax in, or perhaps a new dining set for the whole family, shop McGregor's. They also have a good selection of luxurious sectional sofas. Score the mattress of your dreams with an assist from the McGregor's friendly and knowledgeable staff. You'll be the household MVP when you bring home the winning selection from McGregor's Furniture and Mattress, downtown Marshalltown. Open open 7 days a week.
You're an empty nester closing in on that retirement property. Chances are your plans didn't include mom moving in, but life happens and you do the right thing. Wells Fargo Advisors can help. For more than 125 years, we've created wealth management and investment strategies aimed at achieving our clients' personal financial goals. When retirement means caring for yourself and a loved one, turn to Wells Fargo Advisors. Together, we'll go far.
Wells Fargo Advisors is located at 14 East South Ridge Road in Marshalltown. Call them at 641-752-5401. They're a member SIPC.
It is our final girls match day of the season as we welcome in Stacy Galima, head coach. It's hard to believe the season already here at the final draw of the season and at home against Columbus. As you kind of reflect, your postseason opponent already, that kind of stuff, this team kind of living up to maybe some expectations or exceeding them in your mind. What kind of stands out about this year so far?
Yeah, I think knowing going in, we graduated a lot from last year, so there's a lot of question marks, and I think for the most part, girls have kind of risen to the occasion or kind of find their own role on the team so that we can have success. We were fortunate to have a good freshman class that came in, and then we have a lot of seniors on the other side that are able to lead and kind of build off what we were able to do last year and carry it into this year as well.
Well, you deserve a little bit of an award, too, because I tell you what, you've had a bunch of different starting 11s throughout the year where you've kind of played chess a little bit with that lineup, but it's been successful. Your team 5-0 in the last 5.
Yeah, we're doing all right. Girls are just really excited to play, willing to play. You want that as a coach. You hope for that, but that doesn't always happen. Yeah. We have a lot of girls hungry to play. They want to be on the field. They want the ball at their feet, and that's how our team finds success. Is everyone's willing to do their part and kind of have their own time in the limelight.
Staying hungry after going after goal this year has been a good thing. Top 5 in Class 3A this year in shots on goal. What leads to being so effective? Not only trying to rip off a shot, but being successful and kind of pinpoint accuracy and putting that one and making the goalkeeper have to make the stop.
Yeah, that's been something we've kind of focused on this year. Is you don't want to just go up there and kind of blast the ball towards the goal. You want to be able to place it. We've done a lot better job this year, last few years, kind of maintaining possession around the 18, at least in like the final third. Before it was kind of one and done, and we're able to kind of pass around and find a more perfect shot rather than just kind of, hey, we got a shot off. We're able to kind of place it a little bit more and be a little bit more patient because we have so many people that can handle the ball and give us our opportunities.
How do you keep pinpoint accuracy in this kind of wind here tonight?
It'll be a little bit of a challenge for sure.
You might have some balls go in that you didn't think and some ones that aren't even close here tonight. How do you kind of manage that as the players, in maybe the passing lanes aren't quite there? Do you change a little bit of your style to match some of the conditions?
When it's windy, when balls in the air are going to go flying, you obviously want to keep control on the ground. Ideally, that's how you play anyway, because that's how you can play the fastest. You don't have to settle the ball. So it's just making sure we kind of get behind the ball. We don't let it bounce too much. We can settle it as soon as possible on any goalkeeper punts, throw-ins, things like that. We have to get in front of it, keep the ball as much as our feet, and kind of connect our passes rather than just kind of sending it long.
Hard to believe you're going to have almost a little over a week, about a week and a half off until your next match. You get a little grudge match, a 3-2 loss earlier this year against Roosevelt. You'll be at Roosevelt this time. Finding that postseason match, what was kind of your initial reaction?
Yeah, first thing was it's always unfortunate to play somebody in your conference. You always want your conference to do well. We have a great relationship with all of our conference coaches, so it's hard to not cheer for them, but when they're going against us, you kind of have to. Yeah. But I think as far as our team, I think they're excited about the opportunity, able to play them again. They scored with 6 minutes left to break the tie, so hopefully we can have a little bit more opportunities. I think our defense has figured a lot out since then. We have a very young defense, and since then we've been able to grow and kind of find how we need to play together, staying a little bit organized, and then we're able to hold the ball in possession on offense as well.
Yeah, that was a superb match, and we hope that one and tonight is superb matches as well. Good luck tonight, Stacy.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
All right, and we'll have that one for you coming up on May 28th, Wednesday, as the girls will be on the road for their opening round game of postseason play. Coming up on our match day coverage, we will get the starting 11 for the Columbus Sailors as well as the Marshalltown Bobcats right here on KFJB-TV.
Some say life is like a road trip. Is it a coincidence Scooter's Coffee is a drive-thru? We don't think so. Whether you need a coffee while you enjoy the view, to just get you through the long stretch, or to refuel between stops, Scooter's Coffee is there, brewing up delicious coffee, espresso blenders, smoothies, iced drinks, and more, with the convenience of a drive-thru so you can stay on the road and enjoy the ride. So go ahead, scoot on around. Amazing people, amazing drinks, amazingly fast. Scooters in Marshalltown.
From preschool to graduation day, Marshalltown Community School District prepares students for success in a global world. Embrace the lead with curriculum that prepares students for tomorrow's challenges, giving your child unmatched college and career advantages. Embrace the lead by developing talents beyond the classroom through extracurricular opportunities and by focusing on student well-being and whole child development. Create a global learning community right here in Marshalltown. Learn more at marshalltown.k12.ia.us.
Welcome back to Leonard Cole Field as the Columbus Sailors getting warmed up. Let's look at today's starting 11, as all brought to you by Sandvik Enterprises in Marshalltown. Let them deliver for you while we deliver the starting lineups. Well, Bianca Escobar is going to be in goal tonight. Samantha Hauser has spent 1,040 minutes in goal, but she will not get the start tonight as her save percentage at 67%. So it'll be up to the freshman. Escobar is in goal tonight. Savage, Smith, Adams, and Paul will be back there on the defensive line as well. At midfield tonight for the Columbus Sailors, it'll be Jamison, Schmitz, and Nepper. So far this year, Nepper with just 1 assist. Meanwhile, Jamison with 1 assist, and up there is Schmitz. She has 3 goals so far this year, and 1 of 1 from penalty kick range, as she is just a sophomore. Meanwhile, up top for the Sailors, it'll be Schaefer, Quam, and Heckel, as Heckel with 2 goals this year for the Columbus Sailors. That's the starting lineup for the Sailors tonight. Meanwhile, for the Marshalltown Bobcats, starting 11 will go like this. As you look at the team getting ready for the national anthem and starting lineups here tonight, it'll be Sofia Valdez-Chavez in goal, 968 minutes, 19 goals allowed, as she's made 53 saves, 74% in net so far this year. Katie Gomez-Reyes has done a really nice job on the edge of the box, as well as Alina Garcia, Georgia Jansen, and Frankie Long will be back there starting for the Marshalltown Bobcats, as actually had a late change. Fatima Ramirez-Rosas will be back there on the defensive line, as well as, I believe it is, no, that is our right line here tonight. But anyway, we'll take a look at Dylan.
I'm just watching the master work. I'm just watching the master work here.
All right, let's go to the midfield now, as Kenya Gomez-Reyes will get the start tonight. McKenna Coleman, Kira Halstead, and Yuri Ramirez. McKenna Coleman leading the Bobcats, 15 goals, 36 shots on goal. The other night, in a 2-2 draw against Ottumwa, McKenna Coleman had both goals for the Marshalltown Bobcats. She scored both goals a year ago in this match in a 2-1 win for the Bobcats over the Columbus Sailors. And on the front line tonight, it'll be Lilia Christian and Stephanie Gutierrez for the Marshalltown Bobcats. Best shot on goal percentage in 3A at 39%. That is tops overall. So we'll see if the ladies can put one in net here tonight, as it will be a tough night battling that wind here tonight for the Marshalltown Bobcats. Kickoff between the Sailors and the Bobcats coming up momentarily. And Stacy Galima in her 9th year leading the Marshalltown Bobcats here tonight. Get a look at her right there. She's really done a nice job. I tried to pay her a compliment in our pregame. She didn't want to bite on it, but she's really done a really good job to mix her lineup up, being without a few ladies here and there.
Well, you look at this, the success that this program has had. Tonight, we have opportunity for the 30th win over the last 3 years. That would eclipse the 9 years previous combined. They've already locked up the first back-to-back winning season since 2012-13 and 13-14. Stacy's done a tremendous job, but like you said, she is not one to take on praise, but to give it to others.
Yeah, that is for sure. Well, tonight it is the Marshalltown Area Soccer Club in attendance, as they're helping out, being the football boys and girls out there tonight, and free admission for those players, and also just a great opportunity to showcase the youth development that goes on here in the Marshalltown community.
They've got a great facility out there. Always had a really high-level board as well. And I think we're seeing the success of the Marshalltown Area Soccer Club really permeate as it comes up to having some really successful, we were talking about it off air, but the guys team is not shabby either.
No.
They're looking really good as well.
Yeah, I believe Gavin Mishek came up through the MASC, and he's a starter out there as well, and just a freshman this year. So great to see that youth development here in the Marshalltown community as they will help lead the Bobcats onto the field. We'll take a timeout, and we'll have our national anthem when we come back. This is Match Day. You're watching KFJB-TV.
.62, Coach. 62. First down. We're doing this so that the kids can continue to play. Like we used to enjoy playing when I was in high school. I understand how fun it was, and I want that same fun to be had by the kids now. So that's why we need more officials to keep these games going on.
Welcome back to Leonard Cole Field. Brandon Lewis, Dylan Dones alongside me. David Braga, our producer tonight, as Joe Cornwell, Keith Stewart on the camera work tonight. Cedar Rapids Prairie boys beat Marshalltown boys soccer last night, 5-1, the final score from last night. So that will cap off the regular season. Bobcats could potentially still make up their game that was postponed earlier this year against Ankeny before they begin postseason play. Coming up on Tuesday, May 27th at Ankeny Centennial at 7 o'clock. We'll have that one for you here on KFJB-TV. And then yesterday we found out, Dylan, that the girls' soccer team is going to travel to the Des Moines Metro at MediaCom Stadium and take on Roosevelt in a rematch of a game that was really good earlier this year. Through 74 minutes, it was 2-2, but with 6 minutes to go, Roosevelt scored and ended up winning that one back on April 8th, 3-2, the final score in that one. But again, that should be a great rematch of those two teams.
And you don't often get a chance to kind of revenge a loss like that. Is now you have an opportunity where it counts. You move on and you get a chance. You win that one, you're just one game away from qualifying for state. So that's a really big matchup. Great facility down there in Des Moines, a MediaCom. It should be an exciting time. We'll enjoy calling that one. I anticipate it being a really, really highly contested matchup.
It should be a good one. All right, let's step in for our national anthem live here at Leonard Cole Field.
Ladies and gentlemen, at this time we ask that you please rise, remove your hat, and direct your attention to the flag as we honor America by the playing of our national anthem.
National anthem wrapping up here at Leonard Cole Field. As the Bobcats in their dark blue tops and bottoms, Sailors in the white tops and green bottoms here tonight. Well, Dylan Doze alongside me. I'm Brandon Lewis, and we welcome into our broadcast former Marshalltown Bobcat, Alexia Garcia, and your sister, younger sister, a sophomore, right?
Yes, she is currently on the team as one of the defenders. I don't think she's starting tonight.
But we've seen her play really well, Elena Garcia, and just as a sophomore, she's done a nice job. But you're involved with the Marshalltown Area Soccer Club, and here kind of helping out tonight. Is fun to see all those players out there taking the shots right now. But what's it like to be involved in that youth development? Because it seems to have made a huge impact on when those players get to high school.
Yeah, honestly, I serve as the referee director, so I oversee a lot of the stuff. I've been a referee since 2019, and I just recently was added to the board. And so I watch these kids grow up. I started reffing 2019. Some of these kids I've seen them for the past 6 years.
Mm-hmm.
So watching them develop day by day, and then additionally, a lot of these girls I played with them before. I played at Mask, and then just having the area soccer club there to allow them to grow, to meet new people, just to be involved in soccer and find the love for the sport is one of the best things in the world.
Yeah. So you played in Marshalltown Area Soccer Club. What was, looking back on it, that experience like for you? Like, how did it help you become a better player overall?
The main thing I think that it taught me was how to work on the team and how to form that connection and the chemistry on the team. Because yes, it teaches you a lot of skills and how to develop yourself as a player, but the main thing for a team sport is you need that chemistry. So allowing you to play on the off season before high school to just get to know your players. I played with a lot of these girls for I think 5-7 years.
Wow.
So we've been together for a while.
Yeah, that is for sure. Our kickoff is underway. A breezy night tonight for the Marshalltown Bobcats and the Columbus Sailors. I know that I coached and I saw you out there reffing some of our games, and that had to be a confidence boost for you, right? To be put in those situations, to be out there kind of being the leader and the director of the game flow and everything.
Yeah, it is a confidence boost, especially looking back from where I started and where I am now, just developing my skills and learning that the main thing you need as a referee is confidence, especially because you're going to make mistakes. Yeah. It's obvious you're always going to make mistakes. Just make sure you stay to your call, and if you make an error, just own it.
Yeah.
And when you look at jumping into that position, that's a rare thing. We even run commercials about the need for referees. What was it about becoming a referee that really jumped out to you? And then follow up, what are some characteristics you think of good referees?
I think for me, what pulled me in is I had a friend, actually Taryn Bell. She kind of recommended me to it, and she said you would be really good at this. So I was like, okay, I'll give it a shot. And then as I got more into it, I was like, okay. When I first started, it was a little rocky start, but as I got more into it, gained more confidence. I think I learned and developed my skills, and I really enjoy it now.
Yeah.
And a main thing that I think a referee should have is honestly just communication skills. You need to be able to communicate with everybody on the field, your ref team, both the soccer teams on the field, and especially the coaches. And you need to have an open mind, because you're gonna get called. You're gonna get called out on everything. No one will ever be happy. You just need to make sure you're out there to keep everybody safe. That's the main thing.
Yep. That is so well said. And you can see already Yuri Ramirez slipping right there. That wind really impacting. Do you ever have any games that were this windy that really impacted the match?
Yeah, and it's frustrating because the wind is your worst enemy. Either you're running into it, or it can be your worst enemy or your best friend. If you're going to take a long shot, oh, please back me up. But if I'm running into the wind, you feel like you can't breathe, the ball's not going the way you want it, and it's really frustrating.
Yeah.
So what are a couple things, Bobcats have the wind here, so what are some things going through a player's mindset when it's this windy that you would change your game a little bit to kind of take advantage of the wind?
To take advantage, the main thing is move the ball quickly and on the ground. Any ball in the air, if since we have the wind right now, it's good. It's either going to be too fast and you're not going to have control.
I don't think Sofia Valdez-Chavez thought that one was going to go all the way down to the other end.
A nice 80-yard pass.
Yeah. And then another thing would take shots from all the way out here. We've seen I've watched a couple games. We've seen Yuri take shots and McKenna from the outside. Right now, those are going to be honed so very nice into the net, especially with the wind.
Well, you know a little something about scoring goals.
Yeah.
Led the Bobcats in goals a year ago, and 2024 graduate. What are you up to these days, aside from being involved in the Marshalltown Area Soccer Club?
I just finished up finals at Iowa State, so I just got back, and I'm glad school's out. It was an interesting semester, a big change, but I've just been at Iowa State.
Awesome.
What have you been studying?
I am a biology major on the Prematch track.
Okay, so really taking it easy. You're taking the easy track.
Yeah.
A lot of free time.
You're not going into communications. That was a breeze. Yeah. Bobcats and the Sailors here tonight on KFJB-TV as that wind just continues to impact our match early on here as Bobcats trying to work it into the attacking zone as Christian hitting the turf right there. Here's McKenna Coleman. Pass out to Yuri Ramirez on the edge of the 18, looking for a crosser, but that ball kind of blowing away from her. McKenna Coleman trying to find. Oh, that might have been a handball.
Right?
Nearly a handball, Alexia. What'd you think on that?
I think that might have been a handball, but I feel like the ref isn't going to call it just because it might have been an anatomical position.
Okay.
So he's going to take it back, especially since we're just getting started here.
Yeah.
Just can't quite tell there.
Yeah.
So another question, just in gameplay. So here we have Columbus Catholic. They just picked up their first win on the year. They have not had a very good year. Bobcats looking for their 11th win. As we see a close crosser there that goes out of bounds, it seems like every single thing has. How do you stay mentally focused when you are on a team that is heavily favored in a match? With the Bobcats here, odds-on favorite to win this match, how do you stay locked in and take care of business?
Honestly, the main thing would be don't look at past scores. Don't research the team. As much as you want to, you're going to get cocky, and it happens to every player. You're going to get cocky, you're going to get in your head, and you're going to think, oh, this is going to be easy, so you're not going to try as hard. And that is going to be the reason you may not get the outcome you want.
Yeah. Yuri Ramirez working it on the edge of the 18, deflected out of there as the Sailors will clear that one for a moment. Fatima Rosas trying to work the ball up here for a shot. McKenna Coleman back out to Yuri Ramirez. And back to Coleman. Little chip shot ahead, but off the mark. And that one will be out on the far touchline. So, as you look at Yuri Ramirez, such a great player. She sets up a lot in the middle. In the past, she's been playing more on the wing this year to try to work it back into McKenna Coleman. You played with Katie Gomez-Reyes a year ago. Tell me a little bit of something about playing with those players, because they just, really good team leaders, it seems like that they are.
Yeah, they're incredible players. They're just, it's like a family. They're like sisters to me. I grew up with them, and just you learn how they play. You learn how everybody plays, and the main thing is they knew how I played, so they knew where I liked to play the ball, which is why I looked so good, because they knew what they were doing and where they needed to put the ball along back and forth. It's like I knew what Yuri wanted. I knew what Kenya wanted. It was like, okay, you run here, and I'm going to give you the ball there.
Yeah. Well, and that kind of goes back to your, Marshalltown Area Soccer Club days, that more experience you have with them. Everybody kind of figures that out a lot earlier than figuring it out when you get to high school, right?
And you talked about playing with some of these girls for 5 to 7 years. So that far exceeds high school, is just getting that repetition for success.
Defensive line attempting to clear, but hard to kick it into that wind. 45-mile-per-hour wind gusts here this afternoon. So that was a trip over from Ames.
It was
a little breezy.
windy.
Ball at the penalty arc. Christian to Halstead and off the mark. Not able to quite connect pure on that one, as that will be a goal kick for the Sailors here tonight.
And in the broadcasting world, sometimes you can say something in the pregame and you kind of beat a dead horse by saying over and over again, but I don't think we can overstate how much this win truly is affecting. You're seeing even in simple dribbling up the sideline that these girls are really struggling with retaining any control.
Yeah, that one will be a corner kick on the near side as it rolls out, and even setting up for the goal kick had to be replaced a couple times for the Sailors there before they were able to get it in the right spot.
They've given up on the flags. The flags they've waved the white flag.
Slow dribbler right there on the corner kick and cleared by the Sailors. On that corner kick, what do you look at? Are you targeting a specific person, or are you targeting more of a spot that people arrive at?
It's more of a spot, like in between the penalty mark and the goal. That's like the sweet spot for any corner kick. If you hit it there, then it'll either go in off of a player or off of your player or the other team. It's just that's like the perfect spot.
What would you say that maybe? I mean, I'm sure you've had some of the players, get involved as far as reffing with the Marshalltown Area Soccer Club, that kind of thing. How can people get involved, and what would you say to encourage maybe someone who's a little bit younger to get involved like you were?
We always need help with concessions. Any volunteer that wants to come out, earn some transio
hours.
Wow.
Wow, what a take for the Bobcats right there as Yuri Ramirez. We were just talking about her as she will pick up the goal. That will be her 9th goal of the season.
And that was like a 30-yarder. She put that in the back of the net. What you were talking about, being willing to take that deeper shot.
Beautiful shot by Yuri. No, but yes, just coming to concessions and volunteering. Another thing would be coaching. I know my they may think they're young, but they're high school students. My sister and then the goalie, actually, Sofia Valdez Chavez, they're currently coaching a U10 team, so we're always looking for coaches for anybody, adults, high schoolers. Just come, give some of your time, and things will work out.
From my coaching days, seeing the players improve, that's the most rewarding. Seeing them work as a team and get better and, perfect their skills and stuff like that is just so rewarding. That's the other great aspect of getting involved.
Yes.
And there's no bigger rock star or superstar in the eyes of those 8 and 9-year-olds than a high school athlete that they can come see here at Leonard Cole, is because it's like this rock star, the superstar that they get to actually get to know. And it's a huge thing, even from just seeing how much the future Bobcats look up to you.
So that Yuri Ramirez goal coming in our 10th minute of our match here tonight. As Bobcats leading at 1-0. They're going to take on Roosevelt in postseason play. I'm sure you've been kind of keeping track of them this year, and got to like their chances. They've been playing really well, even though they lost a pretty good senior group from a year ago.
Yes, they've been doing a phenomenal job. I know there's been some adjusting, which they've adjusted fairly quickly.
Yeah.
And I'm very excited for this Roosevelt game. It was 3-2 last time, if I'm
yeah.
aware, and it should be a good matchup.
Yeah, it was 6 minutes remaining in our match. In the 74th minute, Roosevelt scored to take the lead, and they were able to hang on. So, we're looking forward to that one coming up on May 28th.
And you've seen Halstead just a couple times, that those passes, those wind-aided or affected passes just outside the reach. Bobcats had a couple good opportunities to score, but the passes were just out of reach.
Here's Yuri Ramirez again on the edge. And she'll track it down before it gets to the goal line, but the crosser was off the mark. Alexi, it's great to see you. Yeah. Best of luck over there at Iowa State, all right? Thanks so much for coming up and joining us tonight.
Thank you.
All right,
Thank you.
Is Alexi Garcia with us here tonight on our broadcast on KFJB-TV. Again, Marshalltown Area Soccer Club night here at the girls' game. And fun to talk that side of things because you see a lot of communities that are really good at athletics. And a lot of those communities, they have the youth development, and that's such a key part of it.
I think it is, but I think what we just saw from Alexi, that's kind of a hidden piece, is we've seen youth development start all the way at the younger grades, Marshalltown Basketball Club has games on Sunday.
Yeah.
But it's Alexi, now a graduate, in college, still giving back. I think that is the value that those just getting out of turning around and giving back to the kids younger than them is a huge deal.
Well, I do have to say, too, props to Marshalltown, because I feel like out of all the places that I've ever been, this is the most involved by alum.
Yep.
You know, you've got Mike Apple, the basketball coach, an alum. You've got Stacy Galima right here. She's an alum. You know, Nick Rebick is the assistant on the coaching staff. He is an alum. Colton Henke, the head coach for baseball, is also an alum. So, you know, I know there's multiple others that we're probably leaving out. But it's great to see, because you're right, it definitely does make an impact. Christian, one touch from Yuri. She has a goal and now an assist as Lilia Christian knocks one in for her 6th goal of the year.
It wasn't a corner kick, but they placed it right in between the penalty and the goal box. She was able to tap it in, and when you're that close to the goal, you don't have to worry about the win. 2-0 Bobcats.
Well, phenomenal start here tonight, but it was a great pass from Yuri Ramirez floating through, and Christian, she knew I didn't need to do anything besides deflect this one in right there. Sometimes you see a player try to pound that one in.
And too much.
Yeah, just a slight little touch, and it's 2-0.
It feels like the Bobcats, they had been, first 15 minutes of play, they had really been keeping it in the front half. They had been attacking, just hadn't gotten good shots on goal, but these last 5 minutes able to capitalize twice. And Valdez Chavez is just hanging out back there, just trying to keep her feet on the ground with the wind behind her.
This is one of those games when I was coaching the youth, depending on what way the direction was, like, you got to score as many goals as we can if the wind's at our favor, because that next half the other team's going to have that wind, and that'll be Columbus in the second half. They'll have the wind a little bit more to their advantage. It's definitely easier kicking with the wind than it is going against it.
Well, you saw it even in the out of bounds, but the pass ahead by Columbus just before, and you see it off the chest bound, they're kicking it ahead, and it's literally like a pitching wedge out there. It's coming back a few yards from there. It's a legit situation. There's got to be short passes by Columbus, even the throw-in. This is not a slight breeze, folks.
No, that is for sure. Christian with the touch off the throw-in. Her pass to Yuri Ramirez off the mark, taken right back by Christian. Tries to pound that one ahead, but deflected away.
Do want to give a shout out to our very own Keith Stewart, who's on the field. We're up here in the press box with a light breeze coming through the window while Keith somehow is staying on the ground.
I've seen his camera tilt a little bit here and there, just indicating how windy it is. This pass too far ahead as the wind aids it out on the near side touchline. A throw in for the Sailors. Get a look at that AR right there. His flag is definitely whipping in the wind. Sailors clear this one, almost taking out Keith as you speak of him.
Yeah, you think if this was a football game, you think Monghay or Gomez maybe have a chance at a 70-yard field goal going one way and maybe a 20-yard going the other way.
Frankie Long towards the 18, deflected. Kenya Gomez-Reyes nearly coming away with it. And Frankie Long will pick up a foul and a free kick to come for the Sailors.
Yeah, Lexi Quam able to get back up off the turf. And this is really about the first or second opportunity as the ball, you know, you need to get somebody, get a holder out there, you know. But it's that's legitimately what it's like out here today. So if you decided to not make it out to Leonard Cole Field, you might have made a pretty good choice watching KFJB-TV.
And our match originally scheduled to be at 7 o'clock, but due to a little bit of low numbers on the JV, they're playing varsity early tonight here at 5:30. This kick way ahead by Yuri Ramirez, off track, as that will go out on the goal line, and a goal kick to come for Bianca Escobar, the goalkeeper for the Sailors. We have a substitution. Rory Piscatelli is into the match for the Marshalltown Bobcats, as she will replace Stephanie Gutierrez. And they're going to slide Katie Gomez-Reyes up top to forward, as Gutierrez was starting at forward tonight. So Piscatelli will go back on the defensive line, and Kenya Gomez-Reyes and Katie Gomez-Reyes will be up top for the Bobcats, as Kenya passes in here, as Claire Bonser is also checked in for the Bobcats. And looked like a good throw-in, but the wind had other ideas, Dylan, and we have a whole host of new Sailors into our match, as well as Ashlyn Kellum. She is checked in, and Claire Schaefer back into the match for the Sailors.
You know what you would think with Columbus Catholic, with their training as sailors, this wind would be right up their alley.
Well, and we would probably not need to say miles per hour. We need to change it to knots here tonight.
I was just on a ship, and I'll tell you, I learned a lot of that out there. So
what else did you learn? Let's hear it.
I learned about whales.
What about the starboard side or whatever?
Starboard. You have the aft. I don't know all of those. You have port side. But what I really learned is, do you know what type of animal an orca is?
A shark.
It's a dolphin.
Okay.
It is not a whale. It is a dolphin. Also, we went to Sitka,
Free
Alaska.
Willy. I know that movie, though.
Yeah.
I'll tell you that.
We went to Sitka, Alaska, which was the capital of Russia, America, when the Russians owned Alaska. It's also where they gave
I did not know that.
Yeah, it's where they gave the deed over to the U.S. There's still a Russian Orthodox church there. So it's like there's 4 Russian-built structures in the United States, and one of them is the Russian Orthodox Church there.
Wow. This pass will sail too far ahead for Kenya Gomez-Reyes, and a goal kick to come for the Sailors.
This game is reminiscent. It's not the same. It's definitely not the same because that was rain. But we talk a lot about the Cedar Rapids, Washington, Marshalltown football game. Cedar Rapids, Washington was ranked like fourth in the state, and it was, I believe, a 6-3 or a 3-0, something like that. 7-0 game.
I think it was 6-0.
6-0. They had scored
a touchdown. The Bobcats had a punt go and hit in the mud and had a chance to get a score and take the lead, but weren't able to do it.
And we could not see the field for about 35, 40 yards of a mud hole. And it's, of course, different weather, but it's the same effect.
And different turf now.
Yes, yes.
Turf won't get quite as muddy as it was that night.
No, not at all. That's when everybody got on board. Maybe we need to do something with this field.
I don't think Leonard Coalfield was ever the same after that game, that's for sure. Yuri Ramirez on the far side wing. And she'll send a low-line drive, looking for Christian now. McKenna Coleman comes up with it. Sailors try to clear out on the goal line, and that will be a corner kick for the Bobcats from the far side of the field, as we have hit the halfway point here in this first half. 20 minutes down, and it is 2-0 in the 10th minute. Yuri Ramirez, Lilia Christian in the 13th minute, as Yuri Ramirez lines up for the corner.
And these are really important 20 minutes for Columbus Catholic.
Ramirez has her corner cleared. Back to her. She'll look for another crosser. And she'll take it. A high pop-up. Slides through. Kenya Gomez-Reyes hustling there but not able to get there in time. And a goal kick awarded to the Sailors.
And I say it's such an important 20 minutes for Columbus Catholic is because when you switch this at intermission, you are going to get the win. And much like the rain in that Washington-Marshalltown game that really kind of shrunk the talent gap, that made it much more competitive, where it became like an asset to the Bobcats, I think it can become an asset with the shot on goal there. Nice save.
Really good save right there by Escobar to poke that one over. She's in the hot pink uniform tonight. Yuri Ramirez to take the corner kick, but Kenya Gomez-Reyes taking that shot on goal right there.
You just think if you're down 2-3-0 with a chance and the win behind your back, if you're Columbus Catholic, I think you're pretty happy with that half.
Yuri Ramirez will come out after her corner kick was deflected.
But on the flip side of that, the Bobcats have to take it behind their back and keep attacking.
Coleman trying to find some space to work through. Up to Christian. Settles it at the penalty arc. Leaves it for Coleman. Trying to find the angle. Can't. Believe that might have been deflected. No, it was not. A goal kick to come for the Sailors.
Really nice defensive play by Columbus there. You see that shot on goal. Nice save. Knocking it back over the crossbar.
Mistouch by the Sailors, so a throw in for the Bobcats as Yuri Ramirez will take it. Oh, loose ball fighting Claire Bonzer. Can she get to it? She'll take the shot. Claire Bonzer will bury it as that is her 5th goal of the season.
This is my second game watching or calling a Bobcat girls soccer game this year. She had 2 against Hoover. She just, when she gets out there, her foot loves to find the net. She's got a great shot there. Bobcats up 3-0.
Yeah, Sailors could not get to it in time, and right past the keeper and Bianca Escobar sliding to her left. And Claire Bonzer, her 5th goal of the season, just a freshman for the Bobcats.
You like that where you see we had a great talk with Alexi, who had led this team in scoring last year. We now look at a McKenna Coleman who's leading the team in scoring this year, and now you have a freshman coming up showing she's got some goal-scoring capabilities as well. It just knows that these years are continually stacked on. Bobcats look to be set for the future as well.
Tima Rosas, I don't think we've seen her. Yes, she is out there now on the defensive line as not initially, I don't believe, out there tonight, but she has been so good this year as she's another freshman on that defensive line who's looked so cool, calm, and collected back there helping out her sophomore keeper in Sofia Valdez-Chavez. But yeah, definitely those younger players stepping up and making a difference this year as the goal kick comes. Kenya Gomez-Reyes takes it away, leaves it for Claire Bonzer. No, it's going to be taken by Katie Gomez-Reyes, and a save right there by Escobar.
Another good shot on goal. Bobcats keep pressuring the Sailors, continue keeping in that attacking third.
Rosas. Frankie Long. Back to Katie Gomez-Reyes. Georgia Jansen surveying right there. Her pass. Couldn't quite get enough on it. Frankie Long trying to play that one back into the attacking third, but can't. Hard contact right there as Sailors hit the turf. It'll be a throw-in for the Bobcats as Frankie Long will take it.
Yeah, if, you know, there's some physicality playing at the midfield, but if you're going to be physical with Frankie, you're probably coming up on the wrong side of that.
Most times, that is for sure. Frankie Long, a mistouch, and a Sailor throw-in. And that one right out at the midfield stripe, and so Frankie Long will look to throw this one in. And before she throws it back in, we'll have substitutions as Kira Halstead is back into our match, and Genesee Telez with 2 goals this year. She has entered the match as Frankie Long will come out of the match, as well as, is that Katie Gomez-Reyes, number 4? I believe it is.
Yep.
Her and Kenya do look a little alike, being sisters. But it is Katie Gomez-Reyes out of the match.
Katie's helpful tonight. She is wearing 1 glove. Actually, it's not a glove. I think she's got her hand. She's got a hand wrap on or something. But it is helpful.
I'll remember that next time.
And her sister out here just seems to be doing 100-yard sprints trying to chase down the ball.
Yeah. Misplayed by the Sailors. A throw-in to come for the Bobcats. As Elena Garcia has also checked into our match, the sophomore, and we talked to her older sister, now graduated, Alexia Garcia, a moment ago. Ball Back towards the middle third. Georgia Jansen winning it back. Piscatelli hitting the turf. And a foul to come here. A free kick for the Sailors as we have worked down to our final 15 of the first half.
And there goes that ball. It's and like you said that we were talking about off air, just this wind is, it has a 4-hour window of being terrible, and it doesn't let up till about 8 o'clock. So this will be the full match. We'll be under this same kind of condition. But Columbus in their closest area of bringing some attack to the Bobcats, see if the Bobcats can turn them away.
Do have more rain coming on our way here as rain about 10-15 miles off to our west. So maybe that'll get through during halftime and play the second half without rainy conditions.
I do think maybe in the last 15 minutes of the second period there might be a torrent and raining of frogs and other plagues coming if we have the wind and the rain.
Bonzer a touch, finds Rosas, looking for Halstead, and she'll find her right there. Halstead will push it ahead. Sailors, they'll lose it out, and Halstead will throw it in. She'll hand off to Telez, who will now take the throw in. And as that comes, we do have a substitution. Stephanie Gutierrez, a senior forward, back into the match. She'll replace Lilia Christian. Christian with a goal in the 13th minute. The Bobcats leading 3-0 here tonight at home. Looking to pick up their 11th victory of the season. Gutierrez just checking in, gets a touch. Got it to Kenya Gomez-Reyes, but pressure from behind. Bonzer wins it back. Telez. And that one going to be too far to the near side as Kenya Gomez-Reyes does have to track it down. Garcia, into the box it goes. Sailors will clear and a corner kick to come near side.
Bobcats have a good opportunity here. 10 minutes ago, you'd love to see this continue attack. See if you can put a couple more goals on the board before we get into intermission. Those Marshalltown area soccer club kids are getting a workout.
They are. Getting more than probably what they bargained for here tonight.
Hopefully there's a free hot dog over at the concession stand for them.
Get them a Gatorade for sure.
Your water's better.
I need to watch that movie. I have not seen The Waterboy in a few years.
It's tremendous.
It is a great movie.
As a father,
I own it on DVD.
Okay.
That's how far back I go.
I went to it in theater. That's how far back I go. As a father, I felt it incumbent upon me to show my sons those Adam Sandler classics.
That is for sure. Telez was trying to find Gutierrez, but the pass sailing just a little too far in front of her, so a goal kick to come for the Sailors as Yuri Ramirez re-enters the match, and she'll replace Kenya Gomez-Reyes. And Frankie Long is getting off the bench and getting set to come back into our match as well. Gutierrez intercepts the goal kick. Tries to put a shot on goal, but the Sailors able to clear this one out, but kept in the attacking third by Bonzer. This could be trouble. We'll find out. Telez at the penalty arc. Sailors trying to clear it. Deflected, and
Paul did a nice job of clearing that out there.
Jansen pitches it ahead, finding Coleman. Coleman looking to set somebody up. Gutierrez at the penalty arc sets up Bonzer. Bonzer will rip one off. It's too high over the crossbar. and a goal kick to come as we are 20 or 30 minutes down in our match here at Leonard Cole Field.
Yeah, you cannot put any air under those. You've got to just try to drive that line drive. Otherwise, it's just going to take off on you.
Coleman intercepting the goal kick. And now winning it back again. Frankie Long finds Bonzer. Bonzer's going to look to the near side to Yuri Ramirez. Slips under her feet, and a throw in to come for the Sailors.
You don't get to see too often the earmuffs out on the sporting field, but we're seeing them here tonight. Young ladies wearing the earmuffs back there.
And a trip up at midfield, and a goal or a free kick to come for the Sailors. As Georgia Jansen got a piece of Alexis Quam right there, the senior forward. Yeah, we saw blankets. I think everyone's huddling a little bit on the sideline on each side. All slipping through. Some rare action for Sofia Valdez-Chavez in this first half.
It's got to make Sophia feel good to be a part of the game.
Yuri Ramirez along the wing. Taking it back towards center. Trying to feed it through for Coleman, but taken away by the Sailors.
The Wind and the Sailors have done a good job of... Coleman has not had a big effect on this game yet.
No, she has not really had many opportunities so far tonight, and a foul and a free kick on the way as Claire Wilkie is getting set to check into our match for the Bobcats.
Another thing that we're seeing, and you've seen over the last 2-3 years, is the depth of the Bobcats is increasing more and more. It is, you can come off your bench and you're going to get production from like 1 through 14, 1 through 15. You're getting young ladies that can all play at a high level.
So the substitution will be made as a goal kick to come here after Frankie Long was trying to find a passing lane, but that one went out on the goal line too far ahead. Halstead will check out as Wilkie comes in. That one out on the far touchline, so the Bobcats with a throw-in as we are approaching 35 minutes gone in our first half. 3-0 Bobcats leading. Bonzer up to Gutierrez, deflected. Bonzer sticking with it. And too far ahead for Yuri Ramirez.
Yeah, Yuri couldn't turn on a dime and go upfield there.
I know it's been a windy spring, but I feel like we've been non-windy for a couple of weeks now, and then today it just reminds you.
And on the backside of this wind isn't warm temperatures, but it's taken us backwards. But yeah, that wind has really picked up, and no matter, I think any athlete will tell you, cold is not fun, but it is way more preferable than wind is. Wind just cuts through everything and makes everything much more difficult.
Georgia Jansen now. And too far for Frankie Long. And no, Frankie does get there in time, but Sailors winning it back here. And still kept in on that touch line on the far side. Wilkie ahead. And her pass off the mark. And Coleman had to take it away. Thought there might have been an opportunity there for Coleman. Here this first half, kept off the scoreboard. Rosas shutting down the attack.
Going to be off the Cats there.
So Attacking third throw-in for the Sailors. Haven't had too many chances in the attacking end so far tonight. We'll see if they can make a little noise right before halftime. And offside, the call. As the Sailors too far ahead on that defensive line, so a free kick to come here as Georgia Jansen will get ready to load up and take this one.
Just under 4 minutes before intermission. Bobcats leading 3-0. See if they can get it back into that attacking third where they've spent most of the first half.
Here's Coleman. She'll look to Yuri Ramirez on the wing. And she has it poked away. So that'll slow things down, but it will remain with the Bobcats as Yuri Ramirez will find Gutierrez on the throw-in. And she cannot get there in time. Coleman. Gomez-Reyes. Over to Wilkie. Has it deflected away. Sailors trying to chip one ahead. This one will ride the line and finally work its way out for a Bobcat throw-in.
That thing was flying Walenda out there. It was hanging on the tightrope for quite a while.
Frankie Long getting ready to throw in, but in the meantime, the head referee having a quick discussion with Rachel Nepper, freshman midfielder. And now play will continue. Jansen intercepting. Out to Yuri Ramirez. She'll play it ahead, using her speed to her advantage. Late crosser, trying to find Gutierrez, deflected. Now Katie Gomez-Reyes, a one bouncer to the keeper in Escobar, and she'll make the save.
Escobar Videa has done a nice job, the freshman. Not in goal for very many minutes this year, but I think overall she's done a pretty nice job here.
Frankie Long slowing things down just before the midway break as the Sailors will have a throw-in. Gutierrez trying to find Christian, but off the mark. Now Yuri Ramirez. Crosser. Can't find anybody initially, but it will stay with the Bobcats. Up to Wilkie, but out of reach. Can she get to it? Yes, she will, just before it goes out on the goal line. Sailors poke it back ahead. Here's Rosas. Intercepted by the Sailors. Out to Wilkie. Well, our final 60 seconds here. We'll see if there's a push by the Bobcats or Sailors here as throw-in goes immediately right back to the Bobcats, but the Sailors do end up with it. Rosas had other ideas there. She'll take it away quickly. Yuri Ramirez with 10 seconds remaining in our first half. Can she get off a late shot? She might. Poking it through was deflected. And Coleman trying for a last-second drill, but not able to get the job done. But the Bobcats scored 3 goals in the first half. Ramirez, Christian, Bonzer get on the board as the Bobcats' final regular season game here tonight before postseason play starts in a week and a half from now. When we come back on our match day coverage on KFJB-TV, we will break down our first half highlights and also have our CAC Connection here tonight. That is all coming up in our halftime on match day. 3-0 Bobcats. They lead it over the Sailors right here on KFJB-TV.
McGregor's Furniture and Mattress is your local furniture store in Marshalltown, and they are proud to support Marshalltown Bobcat Athletics. If you need a new recliner to relax in, or perhaps a new dining set for the whole family, shop McGregor's. They also have a good selection of luxurious sectional sofas. Score the mattress of your dreams with an assist from the McGregor's friendly and knowledgeable staff. You'll be the household MVP when you bring home the winning selection from McGregor's Furniture and Mattress downtown Marshalltown. Open 7 days a week.
You planned and saved for your child to go to college, but medical school after graduation was a surprise. A happy, expensive surprise. Wells Fargo Advisors can help. For more than 125 years, we've created wealth management and investment strategies aimed at achieving our clients' personal financial goals. When opportunities surprise you, turn to Wells Fargo Advisors. Together, we'll go far.
Wells Fargo Advisors is located at 14 East South Ridge Road in Marshalltown. Call them at 641-752-5401. They're a member SIPC.
Some say life is like a road trip. Is it a coincidence Scooter's Coffee is a drive-thru? We don't think so. Whether you need a coffee while you enjoy the view, to just get you through the long stretch, or to refuel between stops, Scooter's Coffee is there, brewing up delicious coffee, espresso blenders, smoothies, iced drinks, and more, with the convenience of a drive-thru so you can stay on the road and enjoy the ride. So go ahead, scoot on around. Amazing people, amazing drinks, amazingly fast. Scooters in Marshalltown.
The Halftime Report, presented by Scouting America. Adventure on.
Our Scouting America halftime report. Bobcats leading 3-0 at the break, and the two teams kind of feeling each other out in the first 10 minutes. But then Yuri Ramirez took over on a long-range goal, putting it over the keeper, and able to score that one from long range over Escobar. And it was 1-0 at that point. Then, just a short time later, 3 minutes later, Yuri Ramirez picks up an assist, as Lily Christian didn't have to do much, just a slight deflection and a really nice goal right there to team up, Dylan.
You go from a great 34-yard laser to the back of the net to a 3-yard little tap, but both counted as one goal. Beautiful play by the Bobcats in both accounts.
We would go some time before our next, but the laser or the rocket on the leg of Claire Bonds are able to poke that one past the keeper of Escobar and make it 3-0. That came in our 22nd minute of our match here tonight. But then other than that, the wind has really been a little bit of a trouble for both teams tonight. The Sailors have really struggled. They've only got it in the attacking third maybe once or twice in that first half. But the wind will obviously impact the Bobcats a little bit more. They'll have to play into it. A great shot of the ball is just rolling around. The Marshalltown Area Soccer Club youth out here helping out have had their money's worth.
Yeah, they
running
have.
Around.
And I do see a lot of them up at that concession stand right now, so they are getting hydrated to run after the soccer balls around the track for the second half.
Free hot dogs all around here tonight. As Bobcats again leading it 3-0 at the break. Yuri Ramirez is our CAC Connection. We'll talk with her when we come back. This is Match Day. You're watching KFJB-TV.
When my kids come home from camp, they're so excited. They go on and on about all the activities they got to do.
My son loves to go fishing,
Cooking, photography, kayaking,
zip line, archery,
robotics, camping, oceanography,
swimming,
and radio.
He's got so many fun stories that he would share that we just wouldn't have otherwise.
Being involved in scouting, my boys have made lifelong friendships.
I would recommend putting your kids in scouting. It's a great way for them to learn skills while having fun.
From preschool to graduation day, Marshalltown Community School District prepares students for success in a global world. Embrace the lead with curriculum that prepares students for tomorrow's challenges, giving your child unmatched college and career advantages. Embrace the lead by developing talents beyond the classroom through extracurricular opportunities and by focusing on student well-being and whole child development. Create a global learning community right here in Marshalltown. Learn more at marshalltown.k12.ia.us.
The Cat Connection, sponsored by State Farm and TownProud.com.
It is our Cat Connection, all brought to you by Tyler Pashonk, State Farm Agency, mtownproud.com, here with senior Yuri Ramirez, midfielder for the Marshalltown Bobcats, and Fatima on that defensive line, your younger sister. How impressed have you been by her on that defensive line this year?
She actually surprised me and my parents. We've only seen her improve since she started. We were pretty surprised that being a freshman on a varsity team, she's getting that time in and pretty much proving herself. I feel like as a freshman you come in and you're very nervous, but she proved us otherwise. Like, she was really ready to play and show what she can do.
Yeah, and you can see that. I mean, you're a physical player. You don't let anybody bowl you over, but she really doesn't let anybody get past her.
She really doesn't. She does her job in the bag, basically. She's very careful too on not to cause us fouls in the box, because that's I feel like a big thing on defenders. But I think her and Georgia do a very good job back there of not causing us any penalties.
Yeah. So you've already increased your goal total from a year ago as you've added on to that. Where have you seen kind of your game year over year improve from your junior season?
I feel like, I don't know. That's a trick question because I feel like I don't really think I've improved much. I feel like last year was still one of my best seasons.
Okay.
But I think just pushing forward, mainly not staying too far back.
Yeah.
But
We've seen some of your balls on crossers, or even just finding, McKenna Coleman in the middle and stuff like that be very good this year. So how important is that to team up with, maybe Kenya Gomez-Reyes, one of the captains, as well as McKenna Coleman, to be able to create those chances?
I think during the game, that's a lot of what I do. I obviously have a lot of trust in them, knowing that if we start a play, they'll finish the play. Mm-hmm. So most importantly, I do always look and see if they're open, but if not, always take that shot or just other players on the field. Mm-hmm. But
yeah, Stacy Galima, the head coach, has been here under your tenure while you've been here in the program. How good of a job in your eyes does she do kind of mixing and matching? Because there's nights where, there's a ton of substitutes coming in and being able to kind of set those pieces to make sure everything's working good.
I think Stacy knows what she's doing. She knows that if she has a strong player on the end, she wouldn't put a new player, for example, a freshman. She'll match him with a freshman who's really not as ready or doesn't have that experience as an older player does, or she'll put whoever can kick with the left on the left and whoever can with the right on the right. So basically, just finding the right mix on the field so everything works out. Yeah.
How long have you been playing?
Since I was in 3rd grade.
Oh wow! So you started young in the backyard. Did you play at Marshalltown Area Soccer Club then, growing up?
Yes, I did. That's actually where I started.
Okay. So how important was that to the growth of your career?
Well, it all started there for me. So I started on the mixed gender team. And obviously it was a little bit more physical because it was against little boys and stuff. But I don't know, throughout the years I kept playing and eventually joined an only girls team, which was a travel team. And then from there on it just grew my passion more and it was more competitive and I started liking it, and then that's how I got here.
Yeah. What do you have in store after your senior season?
Well, as of now, I don't really know where I want to attend. I do want to continue playing, but who knows, maybe that'll change.
Yeah. Well, you still got a little time, and best of luck.
Thank you.
That is Yuri Ramirez with our Cat Connection. Get all brought to you by Tyler Pashonk, State Farm Agency, mtownproud.com.
At Tyler Pashonk State Farm, we are M-Town Proud.
For us, M-Town Proud is about having absolute pride in the place that we live and work. The people in this community represent everything that I believe in and everything I want to instill in my children.
Hardworking,
diverse, genuine,
kind, and passionate.
A blue-collar town that has shown countless times we can depend on each other.
We'd love to talk to you about what makes you
M-Town Proud.
Welcome back to Leonard Cole Field as sprinkles falling on both teams right now. 3-0 is our score as the Marshalltown Bobcats leading, and everybody's got to be on high alert here tonight with the wind. You didn't think that you were going to get drilled by a ball sitting that far back from goal, but the wind had other ideas here tonight. So
that is the epitome of always keep your head on a swivel.
Yeah, feeling the full effects here tonight, and unfortunately that band just finally making it to us, the rain band. So it has definitely had an impact, and now a little bit of rain going to also make an impact here at Leonard Cole Field. So Bobcats will begin the second half with the kickoff, and the Bobcats will try to see what they can do going against the wind, but the Sailors will have it a little more favorable than they did in that first half, playing with the wind.
And I anticipate the Sailors playing a much more aggressive style, while I would think that the Bobcats might be a little bit more conservative in their approach with this big wind disadvantage.
Bobcats getting the throw in. Yuri Ramirez trying to clear it out of there, but cannot do so. Another throw in for the Sailors to come. So goals in the 10th, 13th, and 22nd minute. Yuri Ramirez, Lily Christian, Claire Bonds are scoring in that first half for the Marshalltown Bobcats with that 3-0 lead. Halstead, good pass up to Gutierrez. Now to Christian. Christian finding a way through. And the Sailors will clear this one to the far side, but the wind will help keep it in play. A normal night, that might have been out on the goal line, but it will be a throw-in for the Marshalltown Bobcats. Some good matches around the state tonight, and everybody pretty much getting going at 7 tonight, so we don't really have a whole lot to report on, but a really good match tonight in the Iowa Alliance Conference. Ames and Des Moines Roosevelt, as Bobcats played Ames tough and Roosevelt both tough, both teams that are very good this year. Ames 3-0 in conference play.
Yeah, they lost that game 2-1. Roosevelt 3-2. So you're looking at Bobcats sit at 10-3-3. They're literally 5 goals away from sitting at a much different record with really that ADM 10-0 match, the only one that the Bobcats did not have a shot in.
Yeah, Bobcats have played really well against, some upper competition this year. Misplayed by the Sailors as going on a run was Quam, but a missed touch and it sails out on the goal line.
It's she was just trying to get it ready to lock up that right leg to fire it in, and it was just that simple tap. Ran off on her. And no kid was harmed in the back on that kick. And there is
a bag. We've got the bags on the cameras to make sure they don't get ruined. So if you're wondering what's flapping in the wind in front of our camera, that's what that is. Trouble for Sofia Valdez-Chavez, but off the mark is Quam and bailed out by a missed touch on the shot. And so Valdez-Chavez will have the goal kick to come here. But again, Sailors looking like they've got the wind on their side and playing like it here in the second half.
Well, you see immediately within 3 minutes of play, they've had 2 times in the goal box, 1 good shot on goal, and they had none of that in the first half.
Gutierrez finds it from Yuri Ramirez, up to Kenya Gomez-Reyes. And she'll punch it ahead, back to Gutierrez, but just off the mark. And the Sailors will quickly work it back into the middle third, but taken away by Katie Gomez-Reyes. Always love the punts during football as well, too. You know, when it's windy and it bounces and it ends up being like a 5-yard punt because the wind just keeps pushing it back. Like that pass from Katie Gomez-Reyes was doing it midfield.
Yeah, it's taking U-turns. Yeah. It hits that road closed sign. So we went to the Mariners-Yankees game, and we bought tickets to park in Lumen Field, north parking lot, which is where the Seahawks play. T-Mobile Park, where the Mariners play, they're right next to each other. We pull up there. It's supposed to be an official parking spot. the parking lot is closed for construction. So here, and us and many others had paid $30 to park there on an app, all doing U-turns as if there's a 45-mile-an-hour headwind causing us to just divot and turn back. We were nice enough to be able to park in the hotel parking garage there, but my Mariners did not win that night.
Didn't they?
No. But just for your knowledge, we were sitting in right field. Aaron Judge is the size of a mountain. Not only does he look like that on TV, he is that in person.
I didn't doubt that. He is, yeah. He's
6'8".
built. He's built. I guess
Hitting
that's one way to say it.
410.
Yeah. Rosas deflecting that one. Can't quite clear it. Sailors win it back. Now Georgia Jansen pushes it to the near side. Katie Gomez-Reyes plays it up to Yuri Ramirez. Surveying. Over to Coleman. Now back to Yuri Ramirez. Great pass. And a find. Yuri Ramirez draws in the defender. Blows past her. Getting the angle. Oh, right at the keeper. Oh, deflected again. Oh, wow. Escobar coming up with a big play as Yuri Ramirez, hands on her head, knew she had an opportunity to make it 4-0 and find her second goal of the game.
Yuri's first shot, it's one of those, you'll see it right here. Did Columbus save it, or did the ball just eat her up?
No.
And she kind of, by self-defense, put her hands up, and then Ramirez was not able to sneak in the rebound there.
Gutierrez finding Kenya Gomez-Reyes. And off the feed of Gutierrez, so the Sailors win it back.
But again, Escobar Videas had a really nice night in the box for as much pressure as the Bobcats have put on the Sailors. To only have those 3 goals given up in her first start is a pretty big deal.
Kenya Gomez-Reyes, a great move to get past the defender. Will rip off a shot. It's a bouncer off the mark. As Kenya Gomez-Reyes with 3 goals this year, looking for her 4th right there.
And she just couldn't get the drive on that. That topspin just harmlessly goes to the left of goal.
It's raining here at Leonard Cole Field as breezy conditions, the wind impacting our match, and now a little bit of a slippery surface out there with that rain. Ball played ahead. Sailors trying to track to it. Rosas beaten. Now Rosas will deflect it away, and Georgia Jansen has seen enough, and she'll clear it to the near side. A throw-in coming for the Sailors.
When in doubt, kick it out.
You've coached soccer then, huh?
At a very low level, yes. I played it at a low level. I coached at a little bit lower level.
Ramirez winning it back, but pass off the mark. Sailors come up with it as Quam has it. Can't get it out of the 18. But a good job by Georgia Jansen to deflect that. A corner 1 here for the Sailors.
We might have a sandstorm out there. The long jump pits, the covers have flown off. So they're just standing sand pits out there now.
Great song, by the way, Sandstorm.
You're going to have to help me.
Da-na-na-na-na. Da-na-na-na-na. Na-na-na-na-na. They play it at all the football games, Dylan. Come on.
It's
one of those songs you don't ever know the name of.
Okay. Even after the song is played and you tell me it's the name, you don't know.
There's no words, Dylan. This one poked out. Christian comes away with it. And she'll have it deflected away again as Coleman gives chase. And a throw in for the Sailors.
It just feels Columbus has been attacking. If they can get one, if they can get that glimmer of hope, see one get the inside of the net, this game becomes much tighter.
Coleman with a foul and a free kick awarded. 25 yards out from goal here for the Sailors. So it's looking like one of their best opportunities they've had all night.
Sophia's getting her defense set the way she wants it.
Hayden Schmitz will take the free kick. She does have 3 goals so far this year. She'll settle the ball again.
Attempt to.
Yeah, just take the kick. That's what I would say.
Yeah.
We're going after it. See how good you are at hitting a moving target tonight.
Yeah, that's right.
And the free kick to come. And off the line into the side of the netting as Valdez Chavez will have a goal kick as we are 10 minutes down in our second half, 50 minutes through our match, and it's 3-0 Bobcats. Genesee Telez back into the match, replacing Halstead. Our mic is a little covered here.
Yeah.
You're not getting quite the full wind experience.
No, you are not. My window is firmly shut, while our producer David Braga's is open, and yours is slightly open.
Yeah, just enough to feed the mic through. Ball did move, so the official said, let's do that kick again. I think there's got to be a little grace in the movement of the ball here tonight.
And Georgia Jansen, we are.
Oh, there we go. We got a holder.
It.
Yes, a real football move in here tonight. Kenny Gomez-Reyes on the far side, up to Gutierrez. Even though the wind has been right in their face, Bobcats have had some opportunities. Here's the captain, Gomez-Reyes. And Bobcats not able to complete that possession right there as that one slips through. Genesee Telez with good play right there, showing some aggressiveness.
And she was bodying up someone about 6 inches taller than her as well.
Yes.
Unable to handle the pass, but she was able to get back into the play.
Danny Savage hitting the turf right there, so a foul called. Rain coming down even harder now here at Leonard Cole Field. Substitution as Claire Bonzer into our match before the throw-in. Leah Christian will come out of the match.
There's some inside-out umbrellas down on the bench. You know, if you're trying to run a cheap umbrella out here, it is not gonna work. You got to put that umbrella money to good use.
That is for sure.
Borrow from the Morton Salt girl if you need to. It's a famous, iconic image.
I know, it's on the, yeah, I got it.
It was just a bad joke. Is that what you're telling me?
Yeah, well, it wasn't your best. Rosas tracking this one down to the near side.
I was hoping it was just the age gap.
She's got galoshes on, I believe.
Yes, she does.
Not quite galosh weather out here tonight, but it's more of a poncho kind of night.
Yes, it is. But with the wind, you might want a sturdy raincoat.
Sailors will be awarded the throw-in. Or you could be like Stacey Galima, head coach for the Bobcats. She's rocking shorts tonight. She's not letting the weather impact her. She's a little tougher than you and I, Dylan.
Oh, that's for sure. I don't think that was up to any question for people that know us, know Stacey and ourselves.
Kick from long distance by Ella Paul, saved by Valdez Chavez.
I was a little nervous in pregame. She just had the shirt on. I was like, where is the iconic Stacey Galima hoodie? And it is on the sideline now.
Oh, Valdez Chavez. Whew. That one will be a goal or a corner kick for the Sailors, but boy, the wind caught it a little bit more than she thought it was going to and slips off the fingertips and luckily bounced above the crossbar.
The soccer ball came off like like skipping a rock.
Yeah.
It came up and took that crazy hop.
That is the thing about the turf here tonight, too. That kind of plays, it's almost speeding the ball up.
Yes, it does.
Well, the Sailors have not found goals so far tonight, but that was a close call right there. And they get themselves a corner kick. Georgia Jansen will help guide it out of the box up to Telez.
Georgia's done a nice job in the first 15 minutes of this second half, getting the ball out of harm's way, clearing it for the Bobcats.
We are 5 minutes into our match here tonight. Still 3-0 Bobcats. Quam hitting the turf on the far side.
I thought we would have learned our lesson. That gate's open down there again.
We've had so many balls sneak out through that gate.
That gate's open. A soccer ball is going through it.
You know, like lottery winning odds. The odds are real low that it goes through the gate, but every
keeps
game,
happening.
Yeah,
it keeps happening.
They built that gate in the wrong spot.
Yes, they did.
Claire Schaefer checking back into our match as she'll replace Quam, who just hit the turf a moment ago.
And Quam's really been the front of the spear on that attack here in the second half with the best opportunities for Columbus to score.
Chavez making the save. Low line drive sent in. That's the thing for the Sailors that they've done here in the second half. They know that wind is to their advantage. They might as well just take a shot even if it's from long distance.
Yeah, if you have an open view, it's good to go and go at it because as you've looked here is Sophia really wasn't in this game too much in that first half, just kind of hanging out. She has been on her heels consistently over the last 10 minutes with three different saves.
That's got to be kind of a weird feeling. For 40 minutes, you're not much, hardly any involvement in the match, and now the next 40, you're going to be heavily involved. Corner kick coming. Jansen was the first, and she was able to knock that one down. It's out on the Sailors on the goal line, and a goal kick to come.
And I really enjoyed our opening interview with Alexi. Her insight of just being on the pitch a year ago on approaching with these weather conditions, I thought it really gave us a nice snapshot of what's going on in the brain and just the focus and the plan of the players out there here tonight.
Well, when you aren't able to do color with me, I know who to call now.
That's right. Or if you need something medically done, apparently.
Yeah, that's true.
She's a real triple threat, I think. I think she's going to do all right in life.
I think so, yeah. Very well spoken, and a lot of fun to be able to chat with her before our match here tonight. Bonzer found a goal in the first half, but this one poked away from her. Rosas able to work it back to Yuri Ramirez. And a foul called as Yuri Ramirez was marking on Danny Savage, and that will be a foul and a free kick.
Savage did a nice job of body positioning, being physical.
A tough task to do against Yuri Ramirez because not too many people bully her around.
No. She has kind of that pit bull mentality. She plays physical but also is skilled.
That one will sneak all the way through to Valdez Chavez as she'll roll it back out quickly to Telez.
Has not resulted in goals, but as you've mentioned over the first almost 20 minutes of this half, Bobcats have had opportunities in the attacking third, even with a ton of wind in their face. It hasn't really slowed down the offensive side.
Telez with a decent crosser, but it was off the mark, and now Coleman pushed to the turf, and a free kick to come near the attacking third. Bowman lets it sneak through. It goes to Yuri Ramirez. She'll take a shot, but well off the mark and out on the goal line, and a goal kick to come for the Sailors. And as that happens, a substitution. Alina Garcia is back in for the Marshalltown Bobcats, as Ella Paul is also back into our match. She'll replace Lucy Jameson for the Sailors.
And again, looking at that as Alina Garcia comes back out, it's a sophomore. Bobcats have a really good blend throughout all 4 classes here on varsity.
Speaking of class, this is a 1A versus 3A match here tonight as Bobcats hosting the Sailors.
I thought you were going to say this is a KFJB-TV broadcast, speaking of class. So,
well, that too. Rosas able to poke it away. It'll be a throw-in for the Sailors, but it slows things down. As Dylan alluded to, we are 60 minutes through our match here tonight. If you're the Bobcats with that 3-0 lead, I know 3-0, usually in soccer, you feel pretty comfortable with, but you never know when something might just work out the other way for the Sailors. Bonds are tracking it down. Yuri Ramirez is going to come up and play this from the wing. She'll find Bonzer. Bonzer back to Ramirez. A good setup there on the edge of the 18. Crosser back towards middle. Gutierrez, a foot on it, but misses on it.
Yuri's just been just a bit off with her 2 shots on goal, and then that pass in front of the goal there.
Halstead getting ready to check back into our match before the Bobcat throw-in. She'll replace Genesee Telez, the sophomore, with some good minutes tonight. And a foul called there as Rosas was coming up to make the play. It's favorable at midfield.
Yeah.
And Rosas was able to get a foot on that and deflect it out to Halstead. Halstead to Gutierrez. Yuri Ramirez up to Bonzer. Bonzer's pass off the mark. She was looking ahead for Gutierrez. Gutierrez, though, wins it back. Here's Bonzer. And going back to Gutierrez, deflected again. I think that rain finally pushing through, but still going to stay cloudy here at Litter-Cold Field. Yes. Katie Gomez-Reyes saving that one on the touchline.
Little fancy dribbling there.
Good footwork by the younger Gomez-Reyes, just a freshman. Georgia Jansen trying to clear it, but the Sailors still giving her a little bit of trouble. Halstead up to Gutierrez, deflected away.
And this really is the Bobcats, is that Georgia Jansen gets shoved out of bounds, but it looks like she was able, she's grabbing the back of her leg a little bit.
Heckel got a piece of her right there, and Georgia Jansen hit the turf, but Heckel went back to make sure she was all right. And a whole host of substitutes for the Sailors, including one of those. Heckel is out of the match as Ashlyn Kellum replaces her. Gutierrez checks out of the match as back in for the Marshalltown Bobcats, Lilia Christian.
Yeah, you're looking at these frequent substitutions, especially in the second half. This is when you get this strong of a headwind, you are working extra. Just running around the entire 80 minutes is one thing, but running into that headwind, you're expecting a lot from the athlete's stamina.
Yuri Ramirez up to Kenya Gomez-Reyes as unfortunately McKenna Coleman in the same vicinity as her, and so turned over as it's back to the Sailors for a moment, but Bonser trying to win it back. Deflected out to Kenya Gomez-Reyes, pushes it ahead. Christian will give chase. Out to Halstead now. Well, the soccer season definitely a pretty tight one. In a month and a half, you're playing, over 15 games. And now the Bobcats are going to have a week and a half off until they play against Roosevelt.
Yeah, this is the Bobcats' 17th game, this 17th match so far this year. And that'll be an interesting one is, get ready, get rested. Is it a positive? Is it a negative? Because it's not a series. You get one match, and you go down to Ankeny Centennial. Or not Ankeny, that's the boys. You go down to play Roosevelt.
Yep. McKenna Coleman finding this one. Katie Gomez-Reyes up to Lily Christian. Got a head on it. Trying to fight through a couple of Sailors, but cannot. Ramirez cuts it off. Settling it down and going for Coleman. Bending it, but not enough. So a shot taken right there by Coleman. We haven't seen too many from her tonight. And she does lead the Bobcats in goals this year with 15.
Yeah, I believe that's her first shot on goal tonight. She has been right there. You see, just trying to get that, as you said, bend it in inside that right post, but could not do so.
Kenya Gomez-Reyes finding Coleman. Sticking with it. Sailors at the turf. Here's Coleman taking the angle. Oh, but off. And that will slip through. Halstead will try to keep it in play, and she will. Sends it back towards Christian. Christian turns around, loses it. Kenya Gomez-Reyes comes up with it, but sails it way too high over goal. And we will remain 3-0 Bobcats. Boy, a couple of great opportunities there, Dylan.
Yes, there was. It was too high for one goal, and it was too far to the right for 3. She put that just outside the uprights there, but they had opportunity after opportunity.
This one, the Sailors get a hold of it. And a good job to clear by Valdez as she comes out from goal, knowing she can't pick that one up, and just boots it out. And she'll settle back into net.
When in doubt,
kick it out.
There we go.
Coach Doze. And out on the Sailors, a throw-in for the Bobcats.
Those little misses probably aren't going to affect the end of this game as we see Coleman sprinting up the sideline.
On the edge of the 18, trying to go past the defender, takes a shot, rips one high, and on the back side of the goal, it will land, but you were saying?
These little missteps or misses with opportunities probably not going to affect the final of this one, but these are the things when we go against Roosevelt is you're going to have to execute on a couple of these 50-50 plays.
Yep.
You're going to have to be able to get some of those crossers in and be able to get them in goal.
Kenya Gomez-Reyes winning it off the goal kick, but the Sailors push her aside. Rosas over to the far side of the field to Lilia Christian. Christian feeds it back to Yuri Ramirez. Rips off a shot. It's deflected by the Sailors. Christian still giving chase. Can she get the angle? Takes the shot. It is off the mark as she hits the turf on the goal line. And Frankie Long will get ready to check back in on the defensive line for the Bobcats.
Number 21.
Again, in this one, just the consistent added pressure in that attacking third will probably seal this one away for the Bobcats. But just keeping that pressure on. They've done a nice job of keeping the pressure on no matter which side of the field they've been on.
Over to Coleman. Coleman takes the shot, slips it right past the keeper and Escobar. And finally, Coleman finds net. 4-0 Bobcats.
McKenna may have had us in the ear, said, oh, yeah, you haven't heard from me for 65 minutes. You're only going to say my name for the last 15, and she gets her 16th goal on the year.
In the 69th minute, it is McKenna Coleman.
She went touch over power and put it over the outstretched arms of Bianca Escobar-Videa.
Well, Coleman way exceeding her goal total from a year ago, and like Dylan mentioned, her 16th goal on the year. And now right quickly back with it. Christian feeds McKenna Coleman, but Sailors able to win it back momentarily. And that one past Rosas, but Frankie Long is there. Kenyon Gomez-Reyes, the captain, with the touch. Up to Coleman, a good feed. Good hesitation move by Coleman. Tries it again, but has it poked away. The Sailors will clear. And in our 70th minute of our match, it will be a throw-in for the Bobcats.
You saw our very own Keith Stewart there.
Oh, one of the tarps has kind of fallen down there.
It's crazy out there.
I know we've had some bad wind, but this today almost seems like worse than we've had it.
This takes the cake as far as also putting in a competition out there.
Yeah, correct. Yeah. Our windiest match day we've had all year. We've been pretty lucky this year with our matches on KFJB-TV with good weather. Yuri Ramirez out to Kenya Gomez-Reyes. Cuts it off. Rips it back towards McKenna Coleman's way, but too hard out on the goal line. A goal kick to come.
Feels like Yuri is chomping at the bit after giving away a golden opportunity to score a goal. Easy for me to say. She seems to be chomping at the bit, see if she can get one in the back of the net before it reads all zeros.
Well, she's at 9 goals. That 10 is a great mark, Dylan.
Yes, it is. There's something about double digits. And the Bobcats, speaking of numbers, they can go over the last 3 years, go for their 30th win, which is more, again, than they had in their previous 9 years combined. Over those 9 years, they had 29 wins. So even though this game with 8 minutes to go, it's the last game of the season, that's a big mark, those 30 wins.
That is for sure. And hopefully add to it during postseason play coming up in a week and a half.
Yeah, Bobcats, higher winning percentage than last year, but they are 2 wins less due to the 3 ties that the Bobcats have this year as they sit at 10-3-3. They were 12-6 last year.
Ties the new addition this year. Or draws, as some call them, Dylan.
Yeah, that is true. That's where you can tell soccer is not my first sport.
Well, as they say, Dylan, everyone loves a tie.
That's
Coleman out to Yuri Ramirez. She'll cross it back and deflect it away. Wilkie tries for it but misses on it. Katie Gomez-Reyes will play it back into the box. Finding Christian. She's onside and out to make the save, Escobar. Sofia Valdez-Chavez has been challenged a couple of times here in the second half, but she's managed to keep a clean sheet. And on a night like tonight, that is not an easy task.
Yeah, she stayed engaged.
Telez, Bonzer, and Halstead back in for the Bobcats as Yuri Ramirez will check out, as well as Katie Gomez-Reyes and Lilia Christian will head off the pitch as we are nearing just 5 minutes remaining in our match here today.
Yeah, and this Columbus Catholic team, as we had mentioned, they've struggled in the sense of they've only scored 9 goals on the year. So you knew coming into this, for them to be able to come out with a win, they had to keep it. They had to keep it really low scoring. The Bobcats seem to have been able to attack enough, and those 4 goals look to be secure to get their 11th win on the year.
Columbus actually leads this series since 2019, 4-1, and Bobcats won for the first time in their meetings, 2-1 a year ago. They had to have 2 second-half goals to win that match, but Julie Gersh has done a really nice job with the Sailor program over the years. They've had very, very competitive teams, so this year a little bit of an anomaly more than anything. And Gersh, actually last year, I was watching a video, she won the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union Soccer Golden Plaque of Distinction Award a year ago. So definitely doing great things there at Columbus Catholic.
And that's one where it's a pretty incredible award, because it's the award that tells you not only are you a good coach, you're a good person, because it covers coaching, the work in the school, but also the impact you have on your overall community. So it's a type of person that everyone talks about decades after they played for him. So that's a really high, prestigious honor. I'm thinking about giving you the copper plaque of distinction. It's not as prestigious.
Not as, yeah.
And once tariffs settle down,
I'll
be able to get the trophy.
Valdez Chavez pushing that one aside as the Sailors not quite on the mark there to try to get the goal, but that will be a corner kick one for the Sailors. As putting that one, Ella Paul taking the shot, and she was able to steal that one away.
The better part is her theatrics, which we cut off before, is her acting like she's about dead. Like she knew that was a terrible mistake.
Actually, I believe that was Natalie Schaefer, the freshman, taking the shot right there, not able to get it. Bobcats field the corner and now clear it out of the box. So you're saying I'm not as good of a person that I need to be?
No, I'm saying my award isn't as prestigious.
Okay. I was going to say, what do I need to improve on, Dylan? I know there's
It's me. It's me, not you. I'm trying to give my award some clout, so I'm putting it on.
If I take it to M. Gervich & Sons in Marshalltown, I could probably get
You could get a pretty cool scrap metal situation going on.
Yeah. Well, I was thinking making money off the award you give me.
Yeah. That's true.
If it's not that prestigious, I don't want it.
It's not that prestigious yet. What you know what they say? It's the Heisman Trophy of local high school sports broadcasting.
Do have an injury on the far side. Heckel is being checked out here by the trainer as her teammate Alexis Quam was also looking in on her, and hopefully Heckel is all right as this is the final regular season match.
Was it up by her face?
Yeah, it looks like she's got a little bit of a mark maybe on her right eye. I'm not quite sure.
Yeah, because it doesn't. Yeah. She's walking fine.
Yeah, it looks like she's kind of squinting with that right eye looking at that.
Squinting and smiling, so I think she'll be okay.
I think she will. That's good. Let's get a look at head coach Julie Gersh right beside her as well. Julie was trying to get me the starting lineup here tonight, and we were both battling the wind, and our papers were flopping everywhere.
You were bemoaning your paper situation when you came back up to the booth.
My spotting chart didn't look quite the same way it did when I left the booth.
For those of you watching, Brandon and I truly are the odd couple. He is everything has its place, everything has its purpose, and I would be the opposite without going into much detail.
I've checked in on you, and you're like, yep, it's my dysfunctional setup that works for me.
It's my process, so thank goodness for the Microsoft Surface here tonight. I can have multiple windows open.
Bobcats getting a corner. Bonser sends it in and rolls all the way through to the other side. A throw-in for the Sailors as we approach our final couple of minutes here tonight.
Sun's even sneaking in to watch the final couple minutes of this one.
I'm happy it joined us late. Although I don't think I can go home and have a fire after this one.
No, unless you want your neighbors to have one as well.
A whole neighborhood.
Yes, that's...
Jansen's pass off the mark, looking for Frankie Long, so a throw in. Now Frankie Long will send this one up into the wind. Bonser heads it ahead, but Sailors come away with it. That will be a foul on Bonser as she stuck the foot out as the Sailors were going by.
We're talking there was inter-squad scrimmage over for baseball here tonight. I can promise you one thing. There was one not even remotely hit out to right field here tonight. I promise you that.
Some balls could carry down the left field line.
Left field might be a little bit different. Excited to get over there to start calling some games as well. And see the new softball additions there with the new bleacher setup and everything.
Yeah, nice setup out there. They poured new concrete. It really looks nice at the softball complex. And our first baseball broadcast of the year is coming up on Monday night here on KFJB-TV. 7 o'clock, Cedar Rapids, Washington in town.
Excited for that. I'm going to have the full experience of a broadcaster and parent sprinting over from band awards, the final band situation. You know, that's a full high school experience that you don't get at the other levels.
No, that's for sure. Well, we're in our final seconds tonight as the Bobcats hanging on to their 4-0 lead. Weather playing a big role in this one here tonight, but the Bobcats have found some really good-looking plays. And there's 4 goals tonight as 4 different players in scoring.
And you see the JV also starting to warm up on the sidelines for that rare JV post-varsity match.
Yeah, normally the varsity players have the feeling, okay, we're going to get on the bus and go home, but they'll have a JV match to watch after this one as the Bobcats will go to 11-3-3 on the season. A 4-0 victory here at Leonard Cole Field as the regular season comes to a close. A really nice ending to this season here tonight before they start postseason play coming up on the 28th.
Yeah, Bobcats took care of business. They didn't allow looking forward to Roosevelt because this game in the scheme of seeding or everything doesn't matter, but they were able to take care of business here tonight while getting ready to be locked in to take on Roosevelt here in about 10 days.
Well, the Bobcats now 6 victories in a row on the season, and take a look at head coach Stacy Galima right there as her team meet at midfield with the Columbus Catholic Sailors. And the Bobcats victorious here tonight on KFJB-TV and our match day coverage. Well, let's look at our scoring highlights tonight as the Bobcats got going early in the 10th minute. That's when they scored first. Yuri Ramirez on a long-range shot put it over the fingertips of Escobar into the back of the net in the 10th minute. Bobcats would score. That's when they had the wind at their back in the first half. Then just 3 minutes later, Yuri Ramirez would pick up an assist as she fed it to Lilia Christian hanging out right in front of goal, deflects it in to make it 2-0. 9 minutes later, Claire Bonser put a heater into the net on this play right here.
Found that corner net, just snuck it through. Almost a Goldilocks situation. You had the long, you had the short, and then you had it right in between.
Well, 3-0 would be our score at the midway break. And in the second half, McKenna Coleman had been trying, and finally she found one just inside the penalty arc as she found the angle past Escobar to make it 4-0 in the 69th minute. And that's how we would close out things here tonight. 4-0 the final score as the Bobcats take down the Columbus Catholic Sailors as they fall to 1-13 on the season. There you look at the softball complex, the new facility there with the great upgrades. There's going to be a press box added to that as well, as just great improvements to see there in our first baseball broadcast coming up on Monday night. Hope to have you along for that.
If you had a side-by-side, my goodness, it would look even better. That is a much-needed addition. Fantastic.
That is for sure. Well, thanks so much for joining us tonight. Our next broadcast of soccer is coming up on the 27th of May. Postseason action on the way for boys, as it'll be Marshalltown at Ankeny Centennial. It is the 2 and 3 seed taking each other on the top side. The 1 seed is Ames. And so if the Bobcats are able to win that one against the Jaguars of Ankeny Centennial, it would be a rematch, as earlier this year the Bobcats played Ames right here at Leonard Cole Field to a 1-0 finals. Ames was able to win that one. Our next girls broadcast is postseason play on May 28th. The next night at 7 o'clock on the road at Roosevelt, where again they lost here at Leonard Cole Field 3-2. The final score in that one, a late goal by Roosevelt, gave them the victory. Thanks so much for joining us tonight. Dylan Doze alongside me. I'm Brandon Lewis. Our producer tonight, David Braga. Joe Cornwell, Keith Stewart on our camera coverage. Once again, Bobcats win at a final 4-0 victorious match day here on KFJB-TV.